Ladies and gentlemen, the Seattle Seahawks have just added a very intriguing player back to Seattle. He played with them a few years back, most recently with the Minnesota Vikings. Shaquille Griffin is on his way back to Seattle to play with the Seahawks, where I believe he'll be a perfect fit alongside Tariq Woolen and Devon Witherspoon as well. You also have Nehemiah Pritchett, JT Woods, Demarion Williams, Josh Jobe, right? They got a bunch of guys here, but I think, personally, this dude, Shaquille Griffin, is going to be perfect. Now, look at this play here. We're essentially got outside press man coverage versus a bigger, more athletic wide receiver. But, man, look at this play. This is against Marvin Harrison Jr., We're going to get, right, outside leverage. We're going to give him the inside, and basically he's running a corner. You're going to see him snap his head inside, and then he's going to bend this around into a corner route, right? Again, great route by Marvin Harrison, but guess who doesn't bite on this thing? Man, Shaquille Griffin, great job basically running the route for him, looking back for the football, and coming away with the interception right here. This is beautiful football, and in this video, what I wanted to do is kind of break down everything you need to know about why I believe this acquisition is going to be huge for the Seattle Seahawks going into next season. However, before we dive into the video, I do ask one little favor, and I want you guys to comment down below 2 players on this Seahawks team that you believe could potentially break out and become X factors, right, for the Seahawks going into this season. Let me know in the comments. One offense, one defense, and with that being said, let's dive into the video. First thing first, let's look at Shaquille Griffin's PFF page. Now, this doesn't mean everything. I just want to give you a general consensus of where he is kind of ranked among his peers at the cornerback position. Now, obviously, the good news is they're not expecting him to be a CB1 or CB2. Hell, he might not even be the CB3, but the one thing he does add is competitiveness throughout all of training camp and the ability to have a former starter on your football team. If you need him to start, he can do that as well, right? So we're going to view him as, a CB3, got a more of an outside boundary guy. He's 6 foot, 198 pounds, 9 years old, excuse me. Now, last season did rank 94th among 224 or 22 cornerbacks in the NFL. Now, first thing you're going to say is, well, that's not good, right? And I guess in some cases you may be right. But if you think about it, there are, let's just say, 3 starting cornerbacks on every NFL team, 2 outside corners, and a nickel, right? Now, 32 times 3 is 96. So obviously, he ranks within the starters in the NFL as it comes to DB. So that's not bad in terms of coverage grade. Obviously, not the best. Not exactly where you want it to be, but there are a lot of players that are worse than him. Like, where would Josh Jobe rank among this list? Maybe we'll check it out, right? Run defense ranked about 46 in the NFL out of 222 cornerbacks, right? So 46 is actually really good. Being able to have someone on your team that is not afraid to lower the shoulder, come down, make a big hit. This is a good player to have. Ranked 91st among all cornerbacks in the NFL. Didn't rush the quarterback at all last year. Had 37 solo tackles, 2 interceptions. Allowed about 29 receptions, which not the best, but not the worst either. I do like him a lot as a number 3 or number 4 DB, and I think that's exactly what he's going to be for this team. Just for reference, right now on OurLads.com, they have Seattle's 3rd cornerback as Josh Jobe right now, who ranked 181st out of 222 CBs. So that's a clear upgrade. I'll look at Nehemiah Pritchett as well just to show you that. Now, Nehemiah Pritchett is actually one of the worst corners in the NFL. 221st overall among 222 possible DBs in the NFL last year. So again, 2nd worst DB in football. So obviously this is a clear and cut upgrade to what they had previously. And I feel like nobody can really argue that. Now, he also has some pretty good ball instincts, and it always seems to be in a good spot at the right time. Now we got off coverage, outside leverage once again. You can see here his inside foot is kind of lined up with the outside foot of Romeo Doubs here, which means we got that outside leverage. We're kind of trying to give him that inside and see what they do with it. Again, they're going to try to hit this tight end early. The pass is a little bit high, which ultimately goes through his hands. Now again, Romeo Doubs is in position to maybe get something off this, but goes through his hands as well. And then look at the timing, the awareness to, boom, get it hands up. I know it falls right into his lap, but good instincts, I just want to say, with Shaquille Griffin. And yes, he is getting up there in age at 29 years old, but this is a guy that, again, is a clear upgrade to your roster. Now, before we get any further into him as a player, do me a big time favor, guys. Hit the like button if you want more of these videos and updates throughout the entirety of this offseason. We're going to be covering not only the entirety of training camp, we're also going to be covering the entirety of preseason football, okay? Now, you may be asking, what does that include? All 22 coaches film, just like this right here, just like we're watching. But for offense, defense, individual player breakdown, almost every game of the Seattle Seahawks, Jalen, Milroe, and so much more. And then once the regular season comes, we're going to be doing the same thing. So basically, you're going to get coverage for every single Seahawks game throughout the entirety of this season. So make sure you guys join the family. It is completely free to subscribe to the channel if you want to. And again, I don't think you'll regret it. I think you'll be, and you can easily unsubscribe if you don't like the content, but we're going to be covering a ton of teams. Let me know who you want me to break down next going forward. And with that being said, let's kind of dive back into the video and break down a little bit more of Shaquille Griffin and what he adds to this team. Alright, now one of my favorite things about him is he is never scared to lower the shoulder, come down, and make a big-time hit. So you can put him in the nickel if you really want to. I see him more as an outside boundary cornerback. Now right here, they just get it stretched out to the left. They get some eye candy to the right, trying to get these linebackers to overcommit in the opposite direction. Right here does not work. Shaquille Griffin does a great job of reading, reacting, and attacking to this play like he's a linebacker, right? Wraps up, brings him down, maybe gets about 1 or 2 yards here. But again, the last thing you want is a guy that's scared to come up, make a tackle. Yes, it's only Devin Singletary. If that's a guy like Derrick Henry, is it going to be different? Probably, maybe, right? But again, at the same time, he's a good tackler. I mean, the ranking showed it. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this addition? Do you think it is a day one starter for the Seahawks, or do you believe it's more of a depth addition to this football team? Another great job here by Shaquille Griffin. Never gives up on this play, and you can kind of see once Greg Dortch catches this ball at the top of the screen here, you could tell they've got a lot of Minnesota Vikings players running to the football. So a lot of people in issues be like, all right, someone's going to get him. They'll slow down, but ultimately he never stops and does help out make this tackle. So great job by Shaquille Griffin. I do think he's a day one upgrade from a lot of the players they have in the secondary, and I do think he could be a starter. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, turn on post notifications. That way you're notified every time we post a video. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next Seattle Seahawks update. Should be very soon. Peace.